ThruNite contacted me recently and asked me if I would be interested in reviewing one of their flashlights. Now I chose this one. It's the ThruNite Catapult Pro. It's got a maximum intensity of 2713 lumens, can reach a distance of 1005 meters. It's designed more of a spotlight rather than a floodlight. Impact rated to 1.5 meters, so it should survive a drop of 1.5 meters onto a hard surface. It's IPX8. Waterproof rated down to 2 meters, so it's waterproof down to 2 meters. It weighs 490 grams. It's very well made. It's constructed from aircraft grade aluminium, and it is a very quality torch. As soon as you get hold of it, you know that it's going to be a decent piece of kit. It's also got a 2-year guarantee. Okay, so I'm out in the garden now, and the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is the turbo mode of the torch. It's 2 quick presses of the button. So that's us in turbo mode, and you can see that we've got some deer down there at the bottom. Now those deer are approximately 170 meters away, and on turbo mode it's 2713 lumens. It will run at that for 9 minutes. After that it will drop down to 961 lumens and run at that for a further 90 minutes before the battery runs flat. Now they're 170 meters away, and unfortunately I can't get any further than that because the tree line stops me from reaching the maximum distance of the torch. But as you can see, it's really bright, and this torch is designed to throw light in a spotlight type situation rather than to give you a massive spread. At the same time though, you can see that we've got quite a lot of flood on either side, so it's quite easy to see stuff on either side as you're walking along with this torch. So now I'm going to take it off turbo mode by pressing the button once, and I'm going to turn the torch on now, and this is infinity low. So I'll explain infinity in a second. This is called infinity low. Now if I shine down there where the deer are, you can't really see. When it's set on infinity low, the torch is at 42 lumens and it will run for 53 hours. Now that I'm on infinity low, I'm going to hold my finger on the power button and you'll see what happens. Infinity means that the intensity of the torch will go up and down as long as you've got your finger pressed on the button. So I'm going to press my finger on the button now. I'm on infinity low, so you can see that the torch is getting brighter. That is infinity high, and then it flashes and goes back down to infinity low, and it flashes and it goes back up to infinity high and flashes. And you can still see the deer are down there. Infinity high is 1482 lumens, and it'll run at that for 24 minutes before dropping down to 909 lumens and run for a further 120 minutes on a full battery. So again, I'm going to hold my finger down. You'll see that the intensity goes down. In infinity mode, if you let go of the button, the intensity of the torch will stay where it is when you let go of the button, which means that you can stop it anywhere between infinity low and infinity high at the intensity you want. I'm going to switch back onto turbo, 2 quick presses, and I can still see the deer down there on the bank, still 170 meters or so away. Very good throw on this torch. It's got a lovely throw. I'm very impressed with that. It is starting to get a little bit warm, but it's not too bad. So I think I'm going to wrap up outside. I think what I might do is go down to the bottom there where the deer are. They'll obviously run away, but I'll show you the torch from a distance and we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to turn around and we'll look. That's my cat up there. So I can actually see the camera up the top there. That is firefly mode, and as you can see, you can hardly see it. And this is me just cycling through the infinity mode. There are 2 more modes to show you on this torch. The first one I'm going to show you is strobe. It's 3 quick presses of the button. And as you can see, it is a very effective strobe light. Now this is 776 lumens and it will run on a full battery for 3 hours. This could prove very useful in an emergency because it will definitely attract people's attention. The last mode on the torch is firefly mode, and to get there you hold the button down for 2 seconds. So that's firefly mode. Now that is 0.7 lumens, and on a full battery, just let me check this here, it will run 0.7 lumens for 42 days. As you can see, there's easily enough light to read by, and you know, you can see my face if I shine this torch on it, but 42 days is a phenomenal amount of time. Now, I live in the sticks and we get a lot of power cuts. We've had 2 power cuts in the last year, one for 6 days and one for 4 days, and something like this can prove very, very useful if you're out in the sticks and you're in a power cut situation. But as well as that, it's also very handy if you're out and about camping, because you can keep this torch and it can give you light for a long length of time if you use it in firefly mode. So hopefully that's a reasonable demonstration of the operating modes of the torch. It is packed full of features. I think it's a smashing piece of equipment. This is just a quick look at the packaging. Inside the box we've got the torch, a little carrying case. On the back we've got a belt loop and a small plastic attachment to allow you to clip the carrying case onto something should you wish to. A set of instructions, a charging cable which is USB-A to USB-C, a lanyard with a little ring there if you want to mount it onto the torch, 2 spare waterproof covers for the USB-C charging port, a side switch cap which I believe is a spare seal for this little switch here, and 2 spare O-rings that go onto the cap that screws into the back of the torch. So the battery is in this compartment at the back. There's an O-ring there to make the torch waterproof, and the spares that are provided in the packaging are for here if you need to replace it. It's fitted with a 5000 milliamp 3.7 volt rechargeable battery, and that is why the torch has got such long and impressive running times. As soon as the torch arrives, you should make sure that the cap at the back is screwed up properly and is snug. To charge the torch, the USB rubber seal is on the back there. You just pull that back, which exposes the USB port, and I'm going to plug that in now. And as you can see, we've got a red light appear. If you notice a purple flashing light when you put the torch on charge, the torch battery is not screwed up properly. So you need to screw that back up to the top, and then you'll see you've got the red light to say that the battery is now on charge. So the torch is fully charged now, and as you can see, the LED has gone from red to blue. Now I'm going to explain the control system on the torch, which is quite complicated, but I'll do my best. So if I press the button there now, you can see there's a red light when I press it. That red light is because it's in lockout mode. If it's in lockout mode, you can press the button as many times as you want, nothing happens. So the torch is inoperative. To take it out of lockout mode, you hold down the power button for 2 seconds. Now you can see that we're on firefly mode, which is the dimmest setting on the torch. And with a full battery, it will run for 42 days in firefly mode. Now I want you to notice that there is no light indicated on the button at the top there. Now if I press it again, just one press, you'll see it goes off. So now that we've unlocked the torch, if I press the button again, it will go back to the intensity that the torch was at the last time I actually used it. So it will not go into firefly, strobe or turbo. Now that sounds quite confusing, but if I press this button now, just watch what happens. You can see the intensity is going up. It's going down. It's going up. That is the infinite system on the torch. So what happens now is I can let go of that button and it will stay at whatever intensity it was at when I let go. This is what is called infinity low. It's at 42 lumens and it will run with a full battery for approximately 53 hours. I'll go back to infinity high, but that is the highest you can actually select using the infinity system. This is 1482 lumens and it'll run at that for 24 minutes, and then it will drop the intensity down to 909 lumens and it will run for a further 120 minutes before the battery is flat. So now I'm going to show you how to get turbo, and that's 2 presses of the button. So that is turbo. So that's 2713 lumens for 9 minutes, and then after 9 minutes it goes to 961 lumens for a further 90 minutes. So that is now on infinity low. If I double click it, we go on to turbo. I can turn it off. If I turn it on again, it's back onto infinity low. So once you get used to how it works, it actually is not too difficult. So if you want the strobe light, it's 3 quick presses. And as you can see, that is a very effective strobe. And the strobe is 776 lumens and it will run for 3 hours on a full battery. So if I'll turn that off again. Now remember, we were at infinity low. So if I press it again, it goes on to infinity low. So to lock it, hold the button down to go into firefly mode, like so. When it's in firefly mode, hold the button down again until the torch goes off. So the torch is off. It is now in locked mode. So I can do what I want with this button. Nothing will happen. If I want to unlock it, I hold it down for a couple of seconds. So that's the control system. The LED on the button acts as a battery level indicator, and from 100% down to 21% it will remain solid blue. From 20% down to 11% it will be a solid red LED, and from 10% to 1% it will be a flashing red LED. Now remember that the LED on the button will not work when the torch is in firefly mode. I am very impressed with this torch. I think it's a smashing piece of equipment. Now the operating modes, the turbo is phenomenal as far as the intensity and the strength of the beam is at distances. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually check it out to the maximum distance of 1005 meters because of the tree line. But what I could see was impressive, and I have another torch that is kind of in this league, but this is considerably better in my opinion. So as well as it being a spotlight, the throw that it gives out to the side also means there's quite a bit of coverage as well to the side. So if you're walking along with this torch, you can see things that are coming up on either side as well. But the thing that I am really impressed with is the longevity of the battery. Now, remember I said that we get a lot of power cuts in this neck of the woods. This thing is going to prove very, very useful for me, especially in the infinity low and firefly modes. I'm really impressed with that, and I will be using this torch when we get power cuts around the house. As well as that, the strobe light is going to prove very useful for people out and about if they get lost. It's very, very good at attracting people's attention, and literally it is just a smashing torch. I'm impressed with the way it's made. It's very solid, it feels good in the hand. I like the fact that they've provided a case with it so you can mount it on a belt if you so wish to. You know, I can see people carrying this thing around in the car. It's actually great for emergencies, and it's great for everyday use as well. So I hope you found this review useful, and I hope I've demonstrated the torch adequately so you can make your own mind up. Thank you very much for watching, and please take care.